Hello and welcome to this video on the Forbidden Experiments, Part 2, Clean Matter. Now I did promise to do a video on the Foucault's pendulum and reverse engineer it with today's technology, but a viewer left me a comment on my last video that said he believes mankind is de-evolving, which sort of fits in with that last video. It's quite an elegant way of summing up that whole video. I wished I'd thought of something like that. But as you remember, the debate goes on between the intelligent designers and the non-intelligent designers. That certainly in the 1950s, we hit this brick wall, and there's been no one of the calibre of Newton or Tesla come along to advance us. And sort of when you look at the population, we've got 7 billion compared to the 1600s, which is 0.5 of a billion. So something's happened, whether possibly we're not as intelligent as we were, maybe, something in the water, I don't know. But I was at a recent car rally the other day, and I was sitting in a really nice, it looked like a late 40s, 50s perhaps, fully restored Buick, and it was absolutely beautiful. I'm thinking, wow, this car's even better than what we've got today. It was quieter, smoother. The colour scheme was really nice. Wasn't one of these black or grey we've got today. And it didn't have these stupid low profile tyres. I'm thinking, wow, have we really advanced? So, anyway, my theory is, being a Christian, that we've left God out of the equation and we've left out intelligent design. So, I've come up with this concept of clean matter. So, what is clean matter? It's a ridiculous concept. I guess you can look at it as an antidote to quantum theory, except that my theory has got intelligent design or God in it, whereas quantum theory purely leaves out any sort of form of intelligent design. What is it composed of? It's composed of two matter particles, positive matter and negative matter. Now, as you know, these two, positive matter and negative matter, cannot exist together. If they do come together, they'll annihilate each other, and just to create a ball of pure energy. So, for them to exist, there has to be an intelligent design separator, which obviously is someone of a higher order, separates them. Can you show us an example? Well, yes, the Earth. The Earth is a good example of clean matter. Okay, the outside being positive, the inside being negative with a separator. Okay, look, this is ridiculous, but you have to have a good look at quantum theory one day. You want to go into the world of ridiculousness. Okay, obviously it can exist in two states, where we got like in our Earth, we have positive matter on the outside and negative matter on the inside. However, you can have the other way, where you can have positive matter on the inside and negative matter on the outside. And you would have, this way would have a positive gravity going towards the centre, and this one would be a negative gravity, where forces would be coming from the outside, inside out. Possibly an explanation for dark matter. But also, with this concept, finally we can have a powered planet. Okay, so now we can get away from this heliocentric and geocentric. We can actually now have Earth as a spaceship, and created by someone of intelligence, going around space and doing that big U-turn at the end, so we can come back to the same starting point, thing we're not allowed to talk about. Alright, so let's move on to some properties of clean matter. Okay, hopefully you're still with me on this journey down the rabbit hole. So what are the properties of clean matter? I guess it's the attraction force is one of these inverse square rules, where similar to gravity and magnetic force. So the closer you are to the intelligent design separator, the stronger the force. So it's independent of mass, in other words. So two masses are attracted the same, whether they're one's larger or smaller, doesn't matter. It's the distance from the separator. Interesting, there's a positive particle and a negative particle in here. Both are in sync, but 180 degrees out of phase. So if you like, some sort of form of intelligent design entanglement for those people still wanting to go with the quantum theory thing. The mass, the yield for these forced, I've worked out it's something like 2 equals mc to the 2.7. It's higher yield than normal, but it's just a rough thing. Because they come together at 2.7 times the speed of light. So if you take away this separator, my theory is that they would come together twice the speed of light. So that explains how these two materials, these two atoms or particles can talk to each other. Okay. Another interesting concept is the EMF spectrum. Both have the lower end is of the EM and MF frequencies, I guess, and the radio frequencies are very long waves, and they both have high frequency, high energy at the other end. The visible light's the same in the centre, but interesting is that as our infrared is hot, the infrared on negative matter is cold. So if you go back to those two Earths that we've seen, one will be emitting a cold infrared. Not quite sort of got that in my head yet. So in other words, this is a crazy idea, and just sort of no crazier than quantum theory, remember? But it's my way of us Christians fighting back. We've been left out with intelligent design. Everyone else has gone ahead without God. So it's my way of putting Christianity back into science. So, and I'm sure there's some people out there who could do the maths and make this work. Okay, so thanks again for watching, and